R.I. Presents.
Sea People Mountain People Chapter 2 Encounter with Mythology. Previous overview. When Touka told Tokapcup's mother about herself, she brought a piece of clothing from a box in the corner of the room. Touka looked at the pattern on the clothes and noticed something. I've seen this pattern. The same pattern was drawn many times on the mural I saw in Iwate. I remembered. As I watched this pattern, I started to feel dizzy. I remember being dizzy, but I don't remember what happened after that. When I woke up, I found myself in Tokapcup's room. I wonder what happened after I lost my memory. Did this pattern affect me in any way? Sensing the importance of this pattern, I said to her mother, "Please tell me the meaning of this pattern." Then Tokapcup pointed to the round pattern on her clothes, said, "This is my parents, this is me," and then pointed to the Magatama pattern on her clothes. "My mom made this clothes for me when I was born," she said, holding it in her hands and showing it to me. When I saw the size of the clothes, I said, "Oh, the clothes are small." When I was surprised, she said, "When a child is born, everyone makes clothes for the child." She continued, "The surrounding patterns represent the trees and the waves of the sea, meaning that they are protected by nature," she explained to me, pointing to the patterns on her clothes. So I asked if everyone had different patterns, and her mother told me that everyone had different patterns and that each house had its own pattern. I was a little confused by this mother's story. I was taught in school that the Ainu are a people without written language. But what I'm seeing now is denying what was taught in school. If each of these patterns has meaning, I think it can be said that they are written language. If so, I doubt what was taught at school. As I silently pondered, her mother said, "In Khotan, which is a short distance from here, they put a rock in front of their house and draw the pattern of the house on the rock. It's a nameplate." I was so surprised that my mind went blank and I couldn't speak. Her mom continued to explain the clothes after that, but something completely different was on my mind. Perhaps it is more accurate to say that the Ainu are not a people without written language but a people who have lost their written language. If so, what caused the loss of written language? I think written language are a symbol of culture. What kind of incident happened to the point of losing culture? also bothers me is the identification of this place. My perception is that the Ainu people live in the north. But the people here mostly wear short sleeves or sleeveless. Maybe it's the hot season, but it doesn't look like a very northern outfit. Based on the clothes and referring to her mother's story, I think this place is probably on the south side of Honshu. That's all I can assume about identifying this location, but I have an imagine of what is about to happen. But I don't want to talk about what's going to happen. There is a word, kodadama, in Japan, and I believe in the influence of kodadama. That's why I always try not to take my remarks lightly. But now in my head, I heard alarm bells from afar. I think the cause of this anxiety is the influence of the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki that I read before. Even though the names of the Ainu people do not appear in those two, I am curious. I can imagine what is to come, but based on the amount of information I have now, it is speculation, so I will have to wait and see until I am sure. Her mother asked me what other patterns there were, but I didn't remember much of them clearly, so they weren't very helpful. By the way, the pattern of Kanasiapu seems to be in the shape of a crescent moon, and I was also asked if the pattern was in the mural, but my memory was vague and I could not refer to it. Later in the evening, Kanasiapu joined our conversation and showed us the clothes she had made when she was born. There was a pattern of the whole family on the back, but even when I saw it, my memory remained vague. I reflected that I should have looked at the mural more closely. The three of us talked a lot until late that day, but we couldn't come to a conclusion about my situation. However, since the conversation was mostly Japanese, Kanasiapu didn't seem to understand, and the next day she began to bombard us with questions. Today's story ends. The continuation of the story will be updated tomorrow. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.